Hey, if you've been grocery shopping lately, you may have noticed egg prices are rising again. The USDA tracks those prices, and it says the average wholesale price for a dozen of grade A eggs is up to $4.26 here in the Midwest, up by almost $1 from last week. So what is going on? And could egg prices go even higher? OSU Ohio Farm Business Program Coordinator Haley Shoemaker is back with us to share more about what she knows so far about what is causing the prices to swing up. Now, Haley, you say that the bird flu that wiped out chickens last year is still spreading and causing problems?
Yeah, so the bird flu strain that we've seen since I think somewhat in 2022 is still lingering. So we're still seeing some effects from the bird flu outbreak. If you check CDC's or USDA's reports, the most recent look at the page says about 100 million birds have been affected, and that's looking at our poultry flocks. So either backyard or commercial flocks. They do also have a separate consideration for wild birds. So there is a lot of information there, but we are still seeing effects from that bird flu outbreak.
And we had that historic outbreak, like you said, the last 2 years. So how are farmers working to prevent it from spreading among their flocks?
So biosecurity is really important. Minimizing contact with outside birds or folks who have contact with outside birds is paramount to making sure no new diseases or disease pressures are introduced into their existing flock.
Egg prices jumped 19% in July. They're up by $1 since just last week here in the Midwest on average. So do you think these prices might even go a little higher?
It depends. We're starting to see, and looking at the USDA weekly report, you can see that some of the consumer demand shifts this time of year. We're starting to get past that initial back to school rush to get eggs and whatnot. That's kind of a peak that we see after coming off a summer. We're also looking at in the next couple months gearing back up for the Thanksgiving and Christmas season baking. So that typically leads to an increase in demand as far as consumers go. So we're going to see a little bit of a lower demand right now, which may give marketers and producers a chance to somewhat catch up from that busy back to school period and some other times during the summer. So prices will keep looking at those every week when USDA releases them. But right now we're kind of in a lull between back to school and fall and winter baking.
And eggs are a benchmark for core inflation data, but you also say we could see higher prices elsewhere due to the drought. So how much are you monitoring the drought and what could it impact here locally?
So primarily what we're looking at as far as drought goes, obviously economists have their expertise areas and they're always watching all of the factors that go into the agricultural and any business industry. Specifically what we're looking at as far as how we can support our producers, especially in the harder hit areas of drought, is how to connect them to existing programs and resources that could be used for drought assistance. Farm Service Agency, or FSA, is notably one of the most reliable or most applicable solution to providing financial support or assistance or eligibility programs to folks that are in those really hard hit areas of drought. So in a lot of cases we refer eligible folks to them. In the cases up here we're seeing in Mahoning and Columbiana County, we're not in some of like the D3, D4 drought areas like some of southeastern Ohio is.
Definitely a big story that we are monitoring. Haley, thank you so much for joining us here at 5 to explain all of it.
Thanks for having us.